Alex was a young explorer with a strong heart and a curious mind. Since he was a child, he dreamed of discovering new worlds and meeting beings no one on Earth had ever seen. When he heard stories about a faraway planet ruled by a mysterious alien queen, he knew this was his chance to find something extraordinary. No one from Earth had ever dared to visit that planet, called Zyphora, because it was hidden behind thick clouds and strange energy fields. But Alex did not care about danger. He wanted to learn and see with his own eyes. After months of preparation, Alex boarded his small spaceship. It was not a large ship, but it had everything he needed for the journey. He set his course for Zyphora, guided by faint signals that only his equipment could detect. The trip was long and difficult. The stars around him seemed to sparkle differently as he traveled deeper into unknown space. Sometimes the ship shook because of meteor showers or energy storms, but Alex kept his focus. He was determined to reach the alien world. Finally, after many days, the spaceship entered the atmosphere of Zyphora. The planet looked beautiful but strange. Its sky was violet, with two suns shining dimly through thick clouds. The land below was full of tall purple trees and glowing plants. Alex felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He landed gently near a river that glowed with soft blue light. No one greeted him. The silence was deep and almost magical. Alex stepped out of his ship carefully, taking in the strange air that smelled fresh but different. As he walked through the glowing forest, he suddenly heard voices and footsteps behind him. Before he could react, he was surrounded by tall beings with shining armor and sharp eyes. They did not look angry but serious. Alex was taken to a grand palace built from shining crystals and strange metals. It was unlike any building he had ever seen. The walls reflected light in many colors, and the floor felt smooth like glass. At the center of the palace, Alex met the alien queen herself. She was tall and powerful, with shining silver skin and eyes that looked like stars. Her voice was calm but full of strength. The queen explained why Alex had been brought before her. She said that in her kingdom, strength and courage were the most important qualities. She had a great warrior who protected her and her people from danger. But now, she wanted to find someone worthy to join her side, not just as a protector, but as a partner. She challenged Alex to defeat her greatest warrior in a battle. If he succeeded, she promised to marry him and share her kingdom's power. Alex was shocked. He had not expected such a strange and difficult challenge. He was a scientist and explorer, not a fighter. But deep inside, he felt a spark of excitement. This was a test of courage and heart. He agreed to the challenge, knowing it could change his life forever. The queen smiled slightly but warned him that her warrior was unlike any human opponent. The warrior had trained for hundreds of years, mastering every form of combat in the galaxy. No one had ever beaten him. The queen said the fight would be held soon, and Alex needed to prepare. As Alex was taken to a special place to rest, he thought about the challenge ahead. He wondered if he was brave enough or strong enough to face the alien warrior. But he also felt something new, hope. Maybe this strange world held more than just danger. Maybe it held a chance to be part of something bigger than himself. At night, as the violet sky of Zyphora twinkled with stars, Alex looked at the two suns setting far away. He promised himself he would do his best, not just to win, but to understand this new world and its people. The adventure had only just begun. After agreeing to the queen's challenge, Alex was taken to a special place far from the palace. It was a large training ground surrounded by glowing walls that changed colors in the soft light of Zyphora's skies. The air here was fresh but carried a strange energy that made Alex feel both tired and excited at the same time. Alex didn't know much about fighting alien warriors. Back on Earth, he had learned how to defend himself a little, but nothing like what he would face now. The Queen's greatest warrior was known across many worlds as unbeatable. Everyone said no one had ever come close to defeating him. This thought made Alex nervous, but also more determined. As he walked through the training ground, he met someone unexpected, a young alien named Zara. Zara was different from the other aliens Alex had seen. She was kind and curious, with eyes that shone like the stars above. She was also one of the Queen's advisors, but did not believe in violence. Instead, she believed in learning and peace. When Zara heard about Alex's challenge, she decided to help him. Zara explained that the warrior used many fighting styles. He was fast, strong, and very smart. But there was one thing he never expected: an opponent who could think in new ways and use different strategies. Zara promised to teach Alex some of the basic moves and ideas to prepare for the fight. She said it would be hard, but Alex was not alone. Every day, Alex woke up early to train. Zara showed him how to move his body quickly and how to stay calm, even when under pressure. She taught him to watch his opponent carefully and to use the environment around him to his advantage. They practiced different techniques, some strange and new to Alex, but also interesting and helpful. Alex found that training was not only about strength, but also about patience and understanding. Sometimes he felt tired and wanted to give up, but Zara encouraged him to keep going. She told stories about the Queen's warrior, how he had trained his whole life, and how respect for others was the secret to true strength. While training, Alex also learned about the culture of Zyphora. He discovered that the aliens valued honor, courage, and loyalty. The Queen was not just a ruler but a protector of her people. The warrior who guarded her was loyal, but also proud. This made the upcoming fight not only a test of skill, but also a matter of respect between two very different worlds. One day, while resting after a long session, Alex asked Zara why the Queen had made this unusual challenge. Zara smiled and said, "It was not just about finding a fighter. The Queen wanted to see if someone from another world could be strong enough to join her kingdom and help protect it from greater dangers." This gave Alex new hope. Maybe he could be more than just a visitor. As the days passed, Alex felt his body grow stronger and his mind sharper. He practiced using small tools and weapons that the aliens had made, learning how to use them with skill and care. Zara showed him how to stay calm inside, even when the battle seemed impossible. She reminded him that courage was not just about fighting, but about believing in yourself. Sometimes Alex watched the Queen from a distance. She was always calm and powerful, but there was something gentle in her eyes when she looked at her people. Alex wondered what it would be like to stand beside her, not as a visitor, but as a friend or partner. The night before the fight, Alex sat outside under the violet sky. The two suns had set, and the stars sparkled like diamonds. He thought about his home on Earth, his family, his friends, and the life he had left behind. But he also thought about Zyphora and the challenge ahead. He knew this fight would be the hardest thing he had ever done. But Alex felt ready. He was no longer just a curious explorer. He had become a fighter in a strange new world. With Zara's help and his own determination, he believed he could face the Queen's warrior and show everyone that courage and kindness could come from any planet. As the first light of Zyphora's suns began to rise, Alex stood up, ready to face whatever came next. The adventure was far from over, and the real test was about to begin. The day of the duel finally arrived. The whole alien kingdom seemed to be holding its breath. Word had spread quickly through the crystal halls and glowing streets that a human would face the Queen's greatest warrior. No one was sure what to expect. Some believed Alex was foolish to accept such a challenge, while others were quietly curious about this strange visitor from another world. Alex stood at the edge of a large arena, a place designed for battles, but also for honor. The floor was smooth and glimmered like glass. Around the arena, tall towers made of shining crystals held spectators from all over Zyphora. They watched silently, waiting for the fight to begin. The queen appeared, sitting on her high throne made of silver and light. Her eyes were calm but full of power. She looked at Alex with a mix of respect and challenge. Then, with a slow and graceful movement, the queen signaled the start of the duel. From the opposite side of the arena stepped the queen's warrior. He was taller and stronger than any human Alex had seen. His skin was covered in armor that seemed to glow with energy, and his eyes were sharp and focused. The warrior's face was serious, but showed no anger, only determination. As the duel began, the warrior moved quickly, almost like a flash of light. Alex tried to keep up, dodging the warrior's swift attacks. The crowd watched in silence as the two fighters circled each other. Alex remembered everything Zara had taught him: how to stay calm, how to watch carefully, and how to use the ground beneath his feet. The warrior was strong and fast, but Alex had something the warrior did not expect: his mind. Alex began to notice small patterns in the warrior's movements. Sometimes the warrior left a small opening after a heavy attack, and other times he moved his weight in a way that showed where he would strike next. Alex focused on these signs and waited for the right moment. Suddenly, Alex saw an opening. The warrior swung a powerful arm, but Alex dodged just in time and used the warrior's own energy against him. Alex moved quickly to the side and lightly touched the warrior's armor. It was a small touch, but it threw the warrior off balance. The crowd gasped in surprise. The duel continued with great energy. Alex was not as strong, but he was quick and clever. He used tricks and moves he had never tried before. Sometimes he ran, sometimes he waited quietly. The warrior attacked again and again, but Alex learned to protect himself and find new ways to respond. At one moment, the warrior seemed to grow angry. He moved faster and with more force, but this made him less careful. Alex saw his chance. He dodged a strong punch and managed to gently push the warrior to the ground. It was not a hard push, but enough to make the warrior lose balance. For a moment, the arena was silent. Everyone waited to see what would happen next. The warrior slowly stood up and looked at Alex with a new respect. He did not expect a human to challenge him like this. The queen's eyes also changed. They were filled with surprise and curiosity. Alex stood tall, breathing heavily but feeling proud. He had not only survived the fight, but he had also shown he could match the warrior's skill with his own strength and mind. The duel was more than a battle. It was a meeting of two very different worlds. When the queen finally spoke, her voice was calm but strong. She said Alex had passed her test. He was worthy of respect, and his courage had changed the way she saw humans. The queen did not immediately say if she would marry Alex, but she promised to think carefully about what his victory meant. As the crowd slowly began to cheer, Alex felt a mix of relief and excitement. He had faced the impossible and surprised everyone. More than that, he had opened the door to a new future, one where humans and aliens might live and work together in peace. That night, as the violet sky of Zephora covered the land, Alex looked up at the stars. He thought about the warrior he had just fought and the queen who had challenged him. He knew his journey was far from over, but this battle had changed everything. Alex was no longer just a visitor. He was part of something bigger, a story that was just beginning to be told. After the duel, the air around the palace felt different. The queen, who had always been calm and certain, seemed thoughtful and quiet. Alex noticed that she did not immediately celebrate his victory or speak about the promise she had made. Instead, she spent long hours in her chambers, sometimes looking out at the glowing forests of Zephora, lost in deep thought. Alex was both curious and nervous. He had won the challenge, but what would the queen decide now? Was the promise of marriage real, or had it been just a way to test him? He wanted to understand her feelings and the meaning behind the strange challenge. Zara, the young advisor who had helped Alex train, came to him one evening. She said the queen was surprised by the result and by Alex himself. The queen had expected someone strong, but not someone who could show kindness and wisdom at the same time. This was something new for the queen, who had only known warriors, who fought with strength but little thought. Alex began to spend more time with Zara, learning about the queen's world and the challenges her kingdom faced. He heard stories of wars and peace, of struggles for power and moments of hope. The queen ruled not only with strength, but with a desire to protect her people and build a better future. But finding the right partner for this task was not easy. As days passed, Alex was invited to meet the queen privately. The room was filled with soft light, and the queen's eyes were gentle but serious. She told Alex that his victory had changed her thoughts about leadership and love. She had challenged him to find a worthy warrior, but what she saw in him was more than a fighter. He was brave, wise, and kind. The queen admitted she was surprised by her feelings. She had never expected to see a human in this way. She asked Alex what he wanted from her and from this world. Alex spoke honestly about his desire to learn, to help, and to be part of something bigger than himself. The queen listened carefully and said that marriage was more than just a promise. It was a bond that could unite two very different worlds. But first, she wanted Alex to understand her people and their struggles. She asked him to stay in Zephora, to work with her and her advisors to protect the kingdom and build peace. Alex agreed. He felt honored and ready to take on this new role. He knew it would not be easy, but he was willing to try. Together with the queen and her council, he began to learn about the kingdom's needs, the threats from outside forces, and the hopes of the people. Over time, Alex's presence brought new ideas and hope. He helped find peaceful solutions to old problems and showed that kindness and courage could work together. The queen saw that strength was not just about fighting, but also about understanding and caring. The people of Zephora started to accept Alex as one of their own. They admired his bravery and the way he respected their culture. The queen, too, grew closer to him. Their conversations became longer and filled with respect and trust. The bond between them deepened, not only as ruler and visitor, but as partners, facing the future together. One day, the queen invited Alex to a great celebration. It was a festival of light and hope, where the people sang songs and danced under the glowing sky. The queen stood beside Alex, and for the first time, she spoke openly about her feelings. She said that their journey had changed her heart, and that she was ready to take a step forward. The surprise was not only that Alex had won the challenge, but that their connection had grown beyond the duel. The queen had found in Alex a true partner, not just in strength, but in spirit. This was the result she had never expected but had come to cherish. Alex smiled, feeling the warmth of the moment. He knew his adventure was far from over, but now he had a new purpose and a new home. Together, he and the queen would face the future, ready to protect their worlds and build a better life for all. After the queen's heartfelt words at the festival, Alex felt a deep connection, not only with her, but with the entire world of Zephora. It was a place unlike anything he had ever known, full of wonder, beauty, and challenges. But most of all, it was a place where hope was growing, and he was part of that hope. Alex and the queen began working closely together. Their partnership was built on trust, respect, and a shared vision. The queen was a strong leader, but with Alex's help, she learned new ways to listen to her people and find peaceful answers to problems that had lasted for generations. The alien kingdom faced many difficulties. There were threats from neighboring planets, some of which wanted to take control of Zephora's rich resources. Inside the kingdom, some people were afraid of change and did not trust Alex because he was from another world. But the queen and Alex faced these challenges bravely. Alex used his knowledge from Earth and combined it with what he had learned about Zephora. He helped create new strategies for defense that did not rely only on fighting, but on clever planning and building friendships with other planets. This made the kingdom stronger and more united. At the same time, Alex and the queen worked to bring the people of Zephora closer together. They started schools where humans and aliens could learn from each other. They shared stories, art, music, and traditions, showing that differences could be beautiful and valuable. The kingdom slowly became a place where many voices were heard and respected. The Queen and Alex also spent time getting to know each other better. They shared their dreams, fears, and hopes for the future. The Queen admired Alex's courage and kindness, while Alex was amazed by the Queen's wisdom and strength. They found in each other a true partner, someone who understood the importance of working together. One quiet evening, as two suns set behind the purple trees, the Queen took Alex's hand and spoke about the future. She said she wanted their bond to be official, not just as leaders but as partners in life. Alex felt a warm happiness inside. He had never imagined that his journey to a distant planet would lead him here, standing beside an alien queen ready to face the future together. The Queen held a special ceremony, inviting people from all over the kingdom. It was a celebration of unity, hope, and new beginnings. The sky was filled with glowing lights, and the air was alive with music and laughter. As Alex and the Queen stood before their people, they promised to protect their worlds and build a future of peace and friendship. The story of Alex and the alien queen became a legend, a story told across many planets about how courage, kindness, and respect can bring together even the most different beings. Their partnership showed that true strength comes not just from power, but from understanding and love. Alex never forgot his home on Earth, but he also knew he had found a new home on Zephora. He was ready for the adventures ahead, knowing he was not alone. Together with the Queen, he would face whatever challenges came their way. The adventure that began with a simple challenge had grown into something much greater, a story of hope and friendship that would inspire generations to come.